week on South Atlantic Pro Wrestling, we heard the Tennessee stud Robert Fuller plead his case for reinstatement as the heavyweight champion. And the question of who would win the $2,000 Battle Royal prize was answered as War Eagle Chris Chavis took it to Big Tech Challenger and made the big deposit. This week, the newest and certainly the most controversial member of the stud stable, the U.S. male Curtis Thompson, makes a special delivery. Plus, we'll talk to number 1 Paul Jones to get his feelings about the vacant South Atlantic heavyweight crown. And in our main event, the South Atlantic tag titles on the line as the Pit Bulldogs face off against the duo of Tommy Seabolt and Ranger Ross. Welcome, wrestling fans. Frank Dusek here with the coach, Gene Ligon. And, Coach, have we got an hour of excitement today? Your main event today, the South Atlantic Tag Team Champions, the Pit Bulldogs, putting it all on the line, Coach, against the duo of Ranger Ross and Tommy Seabolt.
I can't wait to see this. There's a little bit of heat building up between these two young men against the Bulldogs. Of course, Bulldogs don't think they can be beat anyway.
Oh, that's exactly right. Of course, Ross and Seabolt, both staunch members of Jones's Rangers. Plus, we'll see the War Eagle Chris Chavis. And is the War Eagle looking good or what, Coach?
War Eagle is at the top of his game right now. I think Curtis Thompson, of course, and the rest of the guys better watch out.
Well, speaking of the top of his game, the U.S. male Curtis Thompson's here. Plus, we'll talk to number 1 Paul Jones about that big title confrontation. But right now, Coach, we need to get to ringside and see the Fantastics.
Now enters the ring from the City of Angels at a combined weight of 483 pounds, Bobby and Jackie Fulton, the Fantastics.
Fantastics, we're watching you, baby. You better have eyes behind your head, because next week we're gonna beat you in that ring, and you're lucky you got a chance. So keep fantasizing, Fantastic, because we're fantastic.
Well, Coach, we barely made it to ringside, but I got my seat.
Well, I dare believe you just gave me the smallest seat in the house here. I appreciate it. We got a big match coming up here, big guy.
Maybe you just got the widest area to cover it there, Mean Gene. But you are right about that, because right now it is Bobby and Jackie Fulton, the Fantastics. And Coach Gene Ligon will tell you, ladies and gentlemen, these are a couple of young men with one thing on their mind, and that one thing is the Pit Bulldogs and their coveted South Atlantic Tag Team Championship crown.
That's right, the Fantastics aren't here just to play around. They want titles, but right now I think vengeance is what they want. They want to get a hold of these guys. They don't like each other.
What is it that Pit Bulldogs call that thing to do with the chain? Skull dragging? Is that?
Skull dragging, I believe
that's where they hooked the chain, and we saw it last week, hooked the chain around Bobby Fulton's neck and drug him around the ring. Skull dragging, that just sounds nasty.
I know, I wouldn't want my skull dragged. It's not got enough up there right now.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean, but right now, Bobby and Jackie Fulton, the Fantastics. And these fellas, these two men right here, Gene, a lot of folks do not realize the record that these two young men have amassed in their professional career. They have victories over teams. It would amaze you. I mean, for instance, they snatched a 1, 2, 3, however quick over the Road Warriors, over the Midnight Express, just to name a couple of teams. It shows you that it's not always the size of the dog in the fight, but as you well know, Gene, it's the size of the fight in the dog.
That's right, it was a great line drop kick. Of course, Jackie can get way up there. His brother's got more knowledge in wrestling, but Jackie is an up-and-comer, and with his brother teaching him, he'll be a great champion.
That's exactly right. The original team, of course, was Tommy Rogers and Bobby Fulton. Tommy Rogers now retired. Brother Jackie stepping in to fill the shoes, and I believe it makes a better team. Tommy had more knowledge of wrestling, more experience, but he lacked the size and the strength, and to my opinion, a little bit of the agility, as you said, of Brother Jackie. So I think it makes a better team for Bobby Fulton.
Well, Jackie, of course, much bigger than his brother. And of course, these guys, when you look at it, the way wrestling's going now, the men are bigger and bigger and bigger, and you need size along with knowledge. And you got both combinations. You're doing great.
And that's exactly right. And right now, showing a little bit of wrestling skill is just a short arm scissor holding Hollywood Tommy Landell to the mat. Tommy Landell able to break free once again, showing that quickness. Jackie Fulton over top, full arm drag.
Yeah, the old foot to the mouth kickoff there, and then an arm drag will do it every time.
What's that kicker for Green Bay? He had a boot like that. He kicked those field goals from 60 yards away, wouldn't he, Coach?
He sure will, but he's doing pretty good as it is right now. My Packers are on the way.
Well, right now, though, coming back to professional wrestling, it's a double hook. Wahoo McDaniels used this for years. You see him over top for the cover. The enforcer in to make the save. And I think right there was a good idea to make that save, Gene, because it could have been the 1, 2, 3.
He did the proper thing as far as his team concerned. Of course, up Robert got up, Bobby got up there and just jumped right on him right away. Let him know, but coming back in here with me.
Well, there's nothing ever done for free, and that certainly wasn't a free move. Has a quick shot to the gut right here. Took the wind right out of the sails of Bobby Fulton. And now it's Hollywood Tommy Landell going to work as he tags the enforcer.
The enforcer coming in, a big man himself. Up, he got caught with a good right hand now. Up, the double head block right there. They're going down. Up, back over there for another shot. Another one. I guess he got nowhere to turn.
Everywhere he turned, all he could see was a Fulton, a Fantastic, and that is why they call him Fantastic. And referee Byron Richards stepping in now and admonishing Bobby Fulton about the use of the mask. You see the enforcer complaining the mask, of course, on a masked wrestler, treated the same as the hair would be on a wrestler who is non-masked. So if you do pull that mask,
makes sense, Frank.
Yes, I thought that up over myself.
Tell you what, wearing that mask, of course, you don't know his expressions, what the man you're wrestling with, if he's in pain, you can't really read him very well.
No, you have to really concentrate on the eyes. It's now Brother Jackie to the top again, off and on the arm. And right now the enforcer, the Fulton, showing their strategy. And their strategy here, Gene, is good basic wrestling strategy to take out one of the 5 balance points, one of the 2 arms, the 2 legs, or the head. Oh,
there goes the head.
Yeah. Well said by my colleague, Gene Liggett.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. They're showing you what tag team wrestling is all about. The problem with tag team wrestling that some wrestlers don't understand, it is a team opportunity here. These gentlemen are tagging in and tagging out. There's a tag right there. Here comes Hollywood in, a good forearm to the back. Jackie didn't see him coming. He was blindsided. And there he shoots him off an arm whip. Oh, he went for the elbow mid.
Oh!
Jackie quick as a cat.
Quick as a cat is right. Shot that big elbow in. Took the high-risk opportunity. Tommy Landell leaving the mat with his feet. And nobody home. Boom! Elbow of his own. In for a monkey flip. And a fantastic showing. Just what you said, Gene Liggett. Tag team wrestling. Teamwork is the key word here. And right now, it is Jackie and Bobby Fulton in control on Hollywood Tommy Landell and the enforcer.
It's just, they don't know which way to turn. Hollywood's in there just going, which way do I go? He can't find California right now, much less North Carolina.
I guess so. When he gets home, his mama's not going to wonder what happened to him. She's just going to wonder how he got away.
Point me to the direction of my partner. That's all he wants to know right now. He's throwing a few gut shots right there, taking a few cheap shots. Here comes his partner.
You call that one right there. He found the direction of his partner and immediately tagged Tommy Landell, not wanting any part of Bobby Fulton.
Like a scalded dog, he run to his partner. And here comes their tag team.
Russian leg sweep. The tag has been made to the top. We've seen this move before. Brother Jackie to the top. I don't know what you call it, but watch this, ladies and gentlemen. Boom! Jackie Fulton crashing down on the top of the enforcer. Bobby Fulton taking care of his partner. And right there are your winners, Bobby and Jackie Fulton, the Fantastics. Your winners in impressive style. Gene, what do you call it?
I don't know what you call that, reverse pancake or whatever, but over the top, it's over.
From J2 Communications, Ali.
Time in the sport of professional wrestling has to be the confrontation, the problem with the South Atlantic Heavyweight Championship belt. Last week we talked with the Tennessee stud, Robert Fuller. We heard his side of the story. Paul, you were not awarded the belt. I mean, the board stripped the belt from Robert Fuller because they were not going to let him benefit from his ill deeds, but at the same time they said that it was a fighting championship and they were not going to award it to you on a technicality.
Well, you know, Frank, a long career that I've had in wrestling, you think I'd be used to these type of situations, but I'm not. I don't like what the Tennessee stud did, and I told you last time we talked about it, what I was going to do about it the following week, and I guarantee you one thing right now. They want to hold the belt up. I know it's in safe hands because I know that I'm going to get it back.
Well, what we're talking about, of course, happened in Morganton 2 weeks ago. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go back to Morganton, North Carolina, and relive #1 Paul Jones against the Tennessee stud, Robert Fuller. Right, stud into the corner. Boom! A crashing right hand. A second right hand. A third right hand, and the Tennessee stud spinning like a top in the middle of the ring. Once again, Leroy Ramsey steps in to physically admonish Paul Jones, and the Tennessee stud taking advantage of the situation. Ramsey again attempting to stop Jones physically, and once again the Tennessee stud coming on, but Paul Jones will hear nothing of it as he continues to come back on the Tennessee stud. A series of right hands into the corner, again crashing into the turnbuckle. And here comes #1 Paul Jones, pride of the Carolinas. Jones reversal, no, double reversal. Oh, elbow in and Ramsey smashed twice. Referee Leroy Ramsey smashed into the corner and now elbow to the top of the head. Ramsey outside the ring. We have 2 referees, neither one of which in position to call right now. In the ring, their fist in fire as down goes the Tennessee stud, Robert Fuller. And right now it's all Paul Jones, but there's no referee in the ring. Leroy Ramsey down on the floor. Oklahoma hayride, Jones down. No, Fuller down. There's 2, 3, 4, 5. A count of 5 and no referee to make the call. Byron Richards over. Byron Richards over to try to wake up the referee, try to get him back in position. Richards knows he's not the official record. Paul Jones looked like he's setting in for an Indian deathlock. He does. He's got it set. He's got it set. Did you see that? Oh, my goodness. But Leroy Ramsey turned around, saw the Indian deathlock, and just collapsed. I don't believe what I just saw. He turned around, started to get into the ring, saw the Indian deathlock on Robert Fuller, and just collapsed. Fuller screaming, I give, but nobody there to hear it. Paul Jones trying to get his man into the ring. Look out, look out, look out from behind. Oh. He's got him. He's up. His hands are in the rope. Gee whiz. I don't believe what I just saw. Hands in the ropes right in front of the referee, Leroy Ramsey, and he's going to call the pin. No, Byron Richards in the ring. Byron Richards in the ring. They're arguing over the belt. The belt. Byron Richards says it shouldn't go. Oh, holy mackerel. The shot heard round the world. Byron Richards has just KO'd the referee, Leroy Ramsey. I'm not sure what's going on. Now the Tennessee Stud trying. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm as confused as you are right now. The bell is sounded. The match is over. A pile driver. The Stud is down and out. 1, 2, 3. Referee Byron Richards has called a count of 3. He's awarding the match to number 1, Paul Jones. Holy mackerel. You see it right here. Boom. There's the right cross. The shot heard around the world. The belt out, caught by a fan. And then when all is said and done, Paul Jones, a pile driver over top, Richards up. He calls the count 1, 2, 3. One man says Robert Fuller won it. The other man says Paul Jones won it. I'm not sure what's going on right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, Paul, the wrestling fans just saw at home. It was obvious that the Tennessee referee, Leroy Ramsey, was not going to call the Tennessee Stud Robert Fuller down.
Frank, every time I look at this, I get mad, and I get madder than before. Now, let me tell you something. You're not going to have some two-bit referee come out here and rob me of the belt. And Fuller, let me tell you something. You were beat, obviously, right in the middle of the ring. I can beat you, and I proved it to you. And I guarantee you one thing. If I get my hands on that Tennessee referee, I'll beat both of you right in the middle of the ring, Fuller.
Well, of course, the Tennessee referee, Leroy Ramsey, has been suspended, Paul, so I don't think you'll have your opportunity suspended and fined, as was the Tennessee Stud Robert Fuller, and, of course, Byron Richards.
I'll bring him back. I'll find him somewhere, drag him right here in the middle of the ring on TV, and beat him.
Strong words from a strong man. Right now, let's hear this about wrestling coming up in your area, and we'll be back with more right after this.
Now, winning the ring from Pembroke, North Carolina, at 276 pounds, War Eagle Chris Chavis.
Thank you to our ring announcer this week, Coach. It's Chief Cleveland. He's Chief of Police here in Pendleton, South Carolina. Of course, we're here in the beautiful Pendleton High School gym in the shadow of Clemson, Death Valley, where this week Clemson did beat South Carolina earlier today, and all these great fans coming back, stopping off here for a night of South Atlantic wrestling in the great PD area.
What a great way to raise money for your high school and everything.
Oh, outstanding. The sponsors here, Mike Nelms, it's the junior class. They're actually 5 beautiful young ladies all raising money for their junior prom. And as a matter of fact, tonight it looks like they're going to raise it in the neighborhood of $1,000 for the junior prom for the Pendleton junior class. And they're excited, wanting to do it again next spring with another big TV taping. And from the looks of the crowd here tonight, Gene, by golly, I think they want us to come back.
I think they worked real hard. We'll appreciate all the young ladies out there getting us sandwiches and cookies and, of course, Coca-Cola. Because I didn't eat any of those cookies.
No, I can see that. All you folks listen to us up here on WBT Channel 3 out of Charlotte, up in the Shelby area, don't listen because Coach Gene did not eat any of those cookies.
Not me. I'm health-minded all the way. Chocolate chip food makes me feel good.
Speaking of health-minded and working hard, a man in the ring right now is health-minded and certainly does work hard. And I'm talking about the big Indian star from Robinson County, Pembroke, North Carolina, War Eagle Chris Chavis. You know, part of this crowd can be attributed directly to the War Eagle. He came down here, it's been a 3 weeks ago now, and spent the day in Pendleton, talked with the high school, talked to the kids here, and also at the middle school about staying away from drugs and the ills of dropping out of school. Of course, Chris went to James Madison University, so he talks about how to pursue your dream, and they all listen. He does a hell of a job.
He's a great example for the young people. He's a great guy. He gets out here and he works very hard. You can tell he's been in the gym for a while.
Trains every day with Ricky Steamboat. I know he made the assembly here in Pendleton was 8:30 in the morning. It was a 2.5-hour drive. And you know that rascal got up at 4:30 and was in the gym with Ricky Steamboat for 2 hours before he left to make an 8:30 talk at the assembly.
Dedication unfounded all the way.
Whoa, and our capital D, and it pays off right now as Dr. X, mass man, just taking the brunt of the blow. 276 pounds dropping across the chin with a leg that looks like a tree trunk.
Well, this match is over as far as I'm concerned. This is like the Clemson-South Carolina game yesterday. Sure, the game had to be continued, but the game was over after a couple of quarters. Clemson just sat there and had a good time.
Well, right now, War Eagle Chris Chavis, of course, the only one in the ring having a good time as Dr. X has his work cut out for him. Chavis, of course, won that winner-take-all $2,000 prize last week. Put that big deposit in the bank.
That's right. Do I hear the ambulance coming? Dr. X has made a call.
He won't make any more house calls on South Atlantic Wrestling, that's for sure. Chris Chavis, War Eagle Chris Chavis in control. Of course, you know, we talked about the $2,000 last week that did go into the account of Chavis. He got that money, or won that prize money, by defeating another big man, 6'7", 301-pound Tex Salinger. Although Chavis won the match, man, there's a lot of bad blood between Salinger and the Great Indian Star. So that confrontation, that little side angle, if you will, from the Rangers versus Stud Stable affair, that little sidetrack personal issue between these two continues.
I'll tell you one thing, it's gotten beyond just wrestling now. This is strictly personal. Blood has got in the way. The Indians' blood versus the Texans' blood, and you know they don't like each other.
No, I guess it does have a lot of history behind it. It's a vertical suplex right now. War Eagle Chris Chavis just carrying on a wrestling clinic right here at the expense of Dr. X.
Dr. X looks like he's about ready to be an outpatient.
I was just saying, he's about to go to Dr. Z, isn't he?
Yeah, look at him down again. Once again, he's just hoping, please, somebody ring this bell now and get this thing over
And
with.
if you want to know why he's Dr. Z.
Exactly why is he Dr. Z?
Look at the big man in the ring with him. But right now, showing us a little offense. Dr. X finally making a bit of a comeback. Headbutt between the eyes of the big Indian Star. This is what he's going to have to do, Chief, or Coach. He's going to have to get on the Indian and stay on top of him, because if he doesn't stay on top of War Eagle Chavis, that great constitution, that unbelievable amount of strength, is going to come charging back all over him.
Well, Chris made a little bit of an error. I believe he could have ended this a long time ago, and he just kept on milking it, kept on milking. It's like the Notre Dame Penn State game. Penn State out of it at halftime, but guess what? Joe Paterno don't ever give up.
Wrong answer is right. And right now, it's War Eagle Chris Chavis, though. A little bit of a problem with this Dr. X. Chavis in for the ride, crashing into the turnbuckle, followed immediately by a clothesline. Just what we were saying, Coach. He's Dr. X beginning to show a little bit of offense. A second time to the well. Be careful. Oh, you don't go to the well too many times.
It was dry, Frank.
I guess it was. Chris Chavis, when he lacks experience, he is learning very, very quickly.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of experience to know that forearm across the head didn't feel real good. He moved that time.
You didn't need to take two. Power slam, spinning in midair. The big man from Robinson County in control, going for the pin, but instead he's going to dance.
He's dancing away there on a big chop.
And it's raining on the parade of Dr. X as War Eagle Chris Chavis into the dance, sends him in for the ride, double chopping down, flat on his back. This one is all over. It's just a matter of turning out the lights and shutting down the stereo, Coach.
Somebody call the doctor and nurse right quick, because it's all over right now. Intensive care time.
Boom, the big drop across the back. 1, 2, 3. Referee Ronnie Hanna calls the pin. Your winner, War Eagle Chris Chavis.
Here we go, Frank, up in the air, reverse power slam there.
276 pounds crashing down in the midsection of the man from parts unknown, Dr. X. We'll be back with a U.S. Mail, Curtis Thompson, right after these commercial messages.
North Carolina at 257 pounds, U.S. Mail, Curtis Thompson.
Certainly one of the more controversial figures right now in South Atlantic Championship Wrestling, the U.S. male Curtis Thompson. Coach, a member of the Stud Stable. I don't want to say a member in good standing, though, because I don't know when I've seen Robert Fuller take more abuse from a single individual than he has taken from the U.S. male Curtis Thompson.
I think Robert Fuller is finding out that he's got a second person coming up behind him that's just like himself.
Ooh, you know, anytime you're in the race, you're listening. If you're winning the race, you're listening over your shoulder for those foot sounds coming up behind you. And right now, those feet sounds are being owned by the U.S. male Curtis Thompson.
There's Curtis Thompson. He's always talking all the time. Always got that mouth running. And of course, he can back it up.
Yeah, he is a little bit showboat, but he does back it up. And he'll be a part of that big card coming to Asheboro, North Carolina, the South Asheboro Middle School, sponsored by King's Gym. An exciting weekend of powerlifting meets featuring Joel Elliott, one of the few men in the state of North Carolina with a 600-pound plus bench. And we'll be wrestling at the middle school on that Friday night, the 30th. And Joel Elliott will actually be on the card taking on Tex Salinger. Elliott was trained, of course, by the great Nelson Royal. So it'll be interesting to see how a powerlifter competes against a wrestler.
Well, Joel Elliott can do it all, of course. He's been trained by one of the best ever was, Nelson Royal. Nelson Royal taught him a lot of wrestling to go along with it.
That's exactly right. And, of course, the next night, Saturday night, Cameron, North Carolina. Carl Salmon, our good friend, the athletic director at Union Pines High School in Cameron, North Carolina. A big #1 fundraiser coming for the high school there for the athletic department. And the U.S. male Curtis Thompson, War Eagle Chris Chavis, the Stud Stable, Joe's Rangers, all a part of that card.
Well, I tell you what, the U.S. male will be there to deliver. And Cameron, I know they'll all be excited about seeing him there. Some will, some won't.
The fans will. I don't know about the people that he's going to have to wrestle, but it's certainly a controversial, a showboating individual. And it is this showboating that I think is causing a lot of the problem with the Tennessee stud, Robert Fuller. Of course, Curtis Thompson, Fuller blames Thompson for the suspension of Matt Bourne. I'm here to tell you, Thompson had nothing to do with the suspension of Matt Bourne. Frank Dusic's responsible for the suspension of Matt Bourne.
Yeah, Matt Bourne don't need no help getting suspended. Of course, when we come to Asheboro, I don't know what we can do with the stud stable. Don't they belong in the zoo?
Well, you got a point. Of course, that's the home of the North Carolina Zoo, and Asheboro, North Carolina, beautiful city, beautiful zoo. Maybe we could get them over there with a monkey cage and leave them. You never know.
I was out at the zoo just the other week, and I tell you, I had a great time looking at all the animals out there. In fact, I saw a couple guys that remind me of a few of our fellows.
Those animals had a good time looking back, I'll bet, too. Talking about #1 fundraisers, we're on our way back down to Florence, down into Elliott, South Carolina. Richard Beelan, our good friend with People Against Drugs and AIDS Infections. We got a wrestling-only card is right here. Whoa. It's the pile driver, the Curtis Thompson version, and he has delivered. Boom, on top of the head. 1, 2, 3. The referee calls the pin. Your winner, Curtis Thompson. South Atlantic Pro Wrestling comes to Danville, Virginia, the City Auditorium.
We want to welcome the drug-free powerlifting competition. Also, we want to welcome in Joel Elliott. And Joel Elliott, we're going to welcome you here. And also, we understand you got a 600-pound bench, and you're going to be going against Tex Salinger. Tex Salinger, you better watch out. Robert Fuller, you better watch out. Let me tell you something. You talk about these feathers. One thing you don't understand about the Indian, these feathers stand for each battle that I've won. I'm going to add another one when you and me get done. Bobby from the Fantastic, we got a great opportunity. We got the whole stud stable. What are you going to do to the bull?
Well, let me tell you something. You know, being that I'm not an Indian, I don't collect feathers, but one thing the Fantastics do collect, that's tag team championship belts. Pit bulls, we showed you last time that we could beat you. You got a little bit of desperate, and you made it a personal issue this time. Right there at the South Asheboro Middle School, this Friday night, boy, we're going to take care of business Fantastic style. And if you think you're going to try to hang my brother in the corner again, boy, are you wrong. It's going to be a big night of South Atlantic wrestling action. We'll see you ringside.
Georgia at 245, 40 pounds. Ranger Ross and his partner from Campbell, Florida at 233 pounds. Tommy Seabolt.
And we are back at ringside for main event action. Frank Dusik here calling the shots along with the coach, Gene Ligon, and his Tommy Seabolt and Ranger Ross, an exciting team, coach, facing the South Atlantic Tag Team Champions in this championship match, the Pit Bulldogs. And the Pit Bulldogs, the center of controversy and the center of our main event, coach, next week.
Next week, a great match coming up. I can't wait to see it. These Pit Bulldogs, they don't give up. They fight like crazy. Fantastics, they're up to a wall and they don't move.
That's right, and next week, right here on South Atlantic Championship Wrestling, same time, same place, same station, the main event will be these two Pit Bulldogs, Rex and Spike, as they take on Bobby and Jackie Fulton, the Fantastics.
Now making their way to the ring area at a combined weight of 498 pounds from New Jersey, the reigning South Atlantic Tag Team Champions, Rex and Spike, the Pit Bulldogs.
A little bit earlier in the show, we heard from the Pit Bulldogs. Now let's hear from the Fantastics about next week's main event.
Pit Bulldogs, you better enjoy this match and get all the offense you can, because next week you're going to be on the defensive side of the Fantastics. We're coming after you, and we plan on putting you down for the 1, 2, 3. That's right here on South Atlantic Wrestling next week.
Well, Coach, I can't hardly wait. It sounds like Bobby and Jackie Fulton can't wait either.
I was back in the dressing room just a little bit ago talking to these guys. It's not going to be a pretty thing to watch next week. I'm assure you of that, Frank. There won't be no wrestling match.
Well, it's going to have to be awful ugly if it's not going to be pretty when it's got that Jackie, that Bobby in there, because that's two pretty young individuals.
Well, Frank, they're good-looking guys and everything, but you know what? When you get ugly on one side and pretty on the other, this comes out looking about the same.
Well, right now, though, we have got a main event for you, and this would be a main event. Matter of fact, it is one of the main events in tonight's fundraiser right here in Pendleton. One of the matches to help to draw this card, Tommy Seabolt, the exciting young athlete from Tampa, Florida, exciting a lot of folks with his wrestling ability. One-loss record, not so good in the beginning, but getting better every week as he learns more and more. And, of course, Ranger Ross. What can you say about Ranger Ross, Coach?
He's coming on strong, Tommy Seabolt is. You got to start somewhere. Tommy, of course, wrestling better and better each week because of the experience factor. And now with a great partner like Ranger Ross. Oh, double drop kick. Both men go down, turn around, leaves you like, whoop.
Whoa, like two cats in the ring. Both men thinking the same thing, going up for the drop kick. Neither man really hitting, feet not hitting, so they landed perfectly. Both men back up in the middle and at the stalemate position.
That's right. That's what quickness is all about. The first man up looked like a bit advantage, but both men at the same time. Now another collar elbow. They're locking up, pushing against each other. A little strength move there.
Feeling each other out. Of course, Ranger Ross, the bigger the two men. Spike, more shorter, more compact, but about the same in quickness and in speed. So each man kind of feeling the other out and looking for that temporary advantage. Once again, underneath, Ross showing a power move. Ranger Ross powering up from underneath, hooking over, going for the backslide. He's got him down. 1, 2. Oh, not enough. And we almost had new tag team champions right here at the start of this match. A lot of time left on television, so we're going to bring it all to you. The Pit Bulldogs, Ranger Ross, Tommy Seabolt, all a part of those exciting cards. You know, 2 weeks from now, Siler City. December the 8th, we're going to be taping television in Siler City. Moose Lodge number 1877 is our big sponsor for our #1 fundraiser in Siler City, the home of Aunt B.
Siler City, North Carolina, not too far from Salisbury, my hometown.
That's exactly right.
Get my mom and dad to come see
There you go. And the following Saturday, we're going up to Morganton, the hometown of Sam Urban, Senator Sam Urban, a jurist, or a judge, I should say, a defender of the Constitution, a historian. That's his home, Morganton, North Carolina. Tommy Burleson lives there now, too, as a matter of fact.
Big Tommy, big, 7'4", Tommy Burleson.
He was playing golf the other day at the one of the Roman Gabriel's tournaments down with Paul Jones. We were talking to him about wrestling coming up, and he's real excited about that.
Well, that's great. Tommy Burleson, a big guy, very big guy. Of course, there's a good elbow to the old shoulder, and there they are, twisting that arm, causing a lot of pain to the shoulder area.
I was about to say, Seabolt and Ross in control, but there they are again, showing that quickness. Tommy Seabolt, a little bit of a surprise move. The rake of the eyes there had the Bulldogs overconfident. Great big old spike. Rex came running in, and Seabolt just used his speed and his momentum against him and took him right up over the top and in control on the arm.
Power and size is very important in wrestling, but believe me, technique, skill, and moves will beat power any day of the week.
And right there was technique, skill, and moves as a series of leapfrogs. And once again, when the momentum was built up, it's Big Rex taking over the top in a full arm drag and twist. Talking about coming to places we've never been, Coach. Danville, Virginia. All you folks watching us in Greensboro and Reidsville on TV, take note, because Danville, Virginia, the City Auditorium, it's a holiday spectacular coming your way here in the following weeks. Just stay tuned to this station. You'll hear more about the matches coming up.
Isn't that where Tommy Seabolt lives, up there near Reidsville and all that area?
I think he lives up in the Greensboro area somewhere. I was talking to the folks over at King's Gym the other day. Sandy King was saying that he works out in their gym in Burlington from time to time, so they know Tommy Seabolt very well up in that area.
Oh, what a move!
Look at that!
Fantastic!
Holy mackerel, I haven't seen that since the days of Bill Mascaris down in Texas. You don't see that often from an American-style wrestler up over top with a quick leg scissor from the front. And most of the Americans, when they do it, Coach, they come up from the side and use the leg scissor to take over. Tommy Seabolt straight up over top and bringing the man straight back down and under. A high-risk move, but it sure turned out well for the young man from Tampa, Florida.
Picking up moves every single day. He just did a couple of clotheslines. That's a Road Warrior special, I believe. Of course, here comes the man, Ranger Ross, who knows more moves than I'd ever want to know, because he's got things he hadn't showed us yet.
Yeah, I heard him the other day talking about something, somebody giving him a hard time. He said the last time he got mad, he overthrew a government. Well, I'll tell you, whoa! Talk about overthrowing. He overthrew Bulldog Rex right there. Big Rex holding the arm bar, thinking he was in control. Got the momentum going, dropped down, and you see right now, Brother Spike there rubbing the injured area, so to speak.
I'll tell you what, that's a little bit of a skills you learn in judo is you let a man have a base, you take his base away from him, he falls flat on his face. Is exactly what Ranger did. Took away the base.
Bulldog looking like a puppy right there.
A puppy it is. Here he is, twisting that arm once again. Tommy Seabolt in a good knee lift, and that shoulder is in desperate pain.
And Ross and Seabolt doing what they need to do right now, Coach, in my opinion, and that is control the tempo of the match. That is exactly what they're doing, tagging in and out, as you said earlier when we saw the Fantastics. It is a team effort, and they quick tags in and out. Another tag coming. No, not quite another tag. Look here, up over top. Holy mackerel. Spike propelling himself over the top rope. A giant shoulder block on Tommy Seabolt. Tommy Seabolt's feet just knocked out from under him. Spike coming from literally nowhere.
Totally illegal move because he hadn't been tagged. First of all, done behind the referee's back. The referee didn't see it. That was a total setup. They set that up real well.
They sure did, and as a result of that setup, Tommy Seabolt just had the momentum taken immediately out from under him. But then, Coach, that is the nature of professional wrestling. As much or more so in any sport. In football, it's the interception. In baseball, it's the home run. In tennis, it's the what do you call the grand slam, or the ace on the serve, I should say. But in wrestling, the momentum can change just as quickly, just a flash of the eye or a beat of the heart, a slip, if you will, and it's all over. As now up and on the rack, up and on the torture rack, Tommy Seabolt working on the back of Tommy Seabolt.
Twisting and turning, stretching those chest muscles out. Of course, Tommy
trying to backslide, needs to get his arms up underneath. He's not going to do it from there. There's no way to put the shoulders. There's one.
He's got him.
The second one. Tommy Seabolt almost worked that backslide in on the big man from New Jersey, but his partner in to make the save.
Ranger Ross being told and admonished to get out of the ring right now. As he does, of course, the referee being sidelined. A good knee lift. Whoa. Was there a tag? I didn't see a tag.
Yes, sir, there was a tag, and that is why the Bulldogs are your South Atlantic Tag Team Champions. You know, Coach, there's that count of 5, and we talk about it in wrestling all the time. There's that count of 5, and these guys are getting as good as anybody in the sport at inflicting punishment and pain during that count of 5. You know, I know that Robert Fuller came to the office on several occasions and was asking to go back into the old archives, looking for tapes of Gene and Ole Anderson, looking for tapes of some of the George and Sandy Scott, some of the great tag teams of the past, in order to show the Pit Bulldogs, to show them what tag team wrestling is all about. One thing while it's on my mind, Coach, we need to jump in here and try to take a break, because we want to show the fans this whole match. And what we're going to do, Kurt, is it okay if we jump in now? What? Yeah, okay. Kurt said it's all right. We're going to jump in right now. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with more South Atlantic Championship Wrestling excitement right after these commercial messages. Have not missed a thing. The cameras are stopped. We kept them rolling during the intermission, and we're bringing every bit of this match to you, Coach.
Live and in person. Here we are, the one and only. The two Pit Bulldogs. They got the young man with a reverse chin lock. He's fighting back like crazy. What a fight.
What a fight. Tommy Seabolt right now needs to get to his base. It's just what he does. A series of elbows to the stomach of the big man. Big Rex over top. Sunset flip. Has he got the momentum? He does. And down. 1, 2. Whoa. 1 second away from the title switch. And that made Psychotic Spike, or Rabid Rex, I should say, very, very rabid.
I'll tell you what, when he crossed those little legs right across Tommy Seabolt's ears, that stings like the dickens. You let go of whatever you got.
Yes, sir. It's sort of like coming down in an airplane real.
He blocks it. Oh!
Into the head, and once again, it's Rex and Seabolt going toe-to-toe with Rex coming out on top. Tommy Seabolt desperately needing to make a tag right now.
Tommy Seabolt in a very precarious way. A good gut shot right there. Here we go. One of the Bulldogs taking it over again. A little action in the corner. This is where a lot of injuries do happen, Frank. As you know, at one time you had that shoulder injury when you were wrestling years and years ago.
Well, yeah, I did have it injured at least once, and no, it wasn't that many years ago.
But
right now, right now in the ring, though, it is Psychotic Spike, and it was showing why they call him Psychotic Spike. Tommy Seabolt, every time he tries to get back to his, to sit up, to stop the punishment, Spike just laying him back down and continuing the assault.
Here we are, reverse chin lock again. They're working on the neck, as you see, Frank. They get that one body part broke down. 5 body parts you're looking at. 5 places of balance. The legs, the arms, and the head. Control the head to control the body.
Take away any one of those 5 points. It's just like having a chair. If you take away one of the legs of a chair, you lose the balance on the chair. The body happens to have 1 extra leg, or 1 extra point of balance, I should say, and having 5 points instead of 4. And by removing one of those points of balance, you can take an individual down and control him. And as Coach Gene Ligon has so pointed out so well, the head is the key. The head is the key. Where the head goes, everybody else follows.
Cross body there, Frank. He's almost got it. He's coming back. Oh, no, another kick to the gut again.
Tommy Seabolt just lacking just a little bit of having enough. Just hung across that top rope.
I believe that's it, Frank. I can't believe it.
Well, Tommy Seabolt will need to show a lot of resiliency right here if he plans to continue in this match. As you see Ranger Ross training for a tag, that 6 feet might as well be 6 miles right now for the young man from Tampa, Florida, Tommy Seabolt.
I'll tell you what, Tommy is showing me a lot. A year ago, the match would be over right now. Tommy is not giving up.
And the Pit Bulldogs showing me a lot, too. You know, we talked about their change in attitude since joining Robert Fuller's stud stable. May not approve of their change in attitude, but boy, their win-loss record has gone up considerably.
Of course, there's going for the pin right there. Rubbing a hit. Tommy, of course, kicking out. He's not giving up, Frank.
Not giving up at all. He's taking everything the Pit Bulldogs have had to give. Right now, you see once again the tag, and that's what Tommy Seabolt needs to do so desperately right now, is tag to his partner, Ranger Ross.
Fighting back with a good kick to the gut. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, sir. When everything else fails, a kick to the breadbasket is bought many and many a minute at a time in a wrestling match. You catch a man coming in, and he's cocky, he's confident, or maybe he's not even confident, Coach, but you've done it yourself. You've come in on an opponent who you sensed was down, and you were not cautious in your approach. You were quick to get in to try to make the kill, and you got caught in the midsection, you got caught in the windpipe, you got caught in the jaw. It's happened to all of us at one time or another. We let our guard down for that instant, and like lightning, the tide of battle changed.
There he is in the middle of the ring right now. I don't believe this nuts letting him get off with a little bit of pleasure.
Not much of one.
I know he had him all beat up, and now he's just taking his time. He's
Spike in for the road.
Again, to the well one time too many, Frank, don't you think?
Exactly, as psychotic Spike has just impaled himself on that second rope. Tommy Seabolt with the breather he needs to make the tag.
A little way, the other way.
Yes! There's the tag, and it's Ranger Ross coming in. Ranger Ross all over top of psychotic Spike. Ranger Ross hitting Rabid Rex, hitting psychotic Spike. A series of thrusts, a series of kicks, and Ranger Ross in control of the Pit Bulldogs.
Up and down, back and forth. Here we go, as Sal Carini would say. A big foot to the head. It's over. 1, 2. Oh, no.
Oh, Rex able to make the save. Tommy Seabolt then on top of Rex, and we've got all 4 in the ring. Referee Byron Richards trying to get control. This match about to erupt into a 4-way brawl. It's a drop kick from Seabolt, and Rex to the apron. Spike in for the ride. No, the reversal. Ranger Ross in for the ride. Up over top. Ross in behind. Shoots him in. Up from behind. 1, 2. He's got him pinned. Look out. No. Ross a duck under and go from behind. It looked like it was all over. Rex able to come out from the outside. A clothesline and the win on a 1, 2, 3 of them. Still the South Atlantic Tag Team Champions, the Pit Bulldogs.
Here we are earlier in the match. Doop-de-doo, whatever you want to call it there, Frank. He got him real good later on in the match. Here's up the big top tag right now. Comes in with a big shout. There you go, a fist to the head. He's knocking down 1, 2, 3 all over. But another hit to the corner.
And at this stage, Ranger Ross in control of both the Pit Bulldogs. And then we see right there the roll-up. Ross with the pin. A little trouble setting it finally does. 1, 2, 3 for sure. But it's the clothesline from great big old Rex that makes the difference. Spike back over top. Referee in position. He calls the pin. The South Atlantic Tag Team Champions are still the Tag Team Champions. Attention Civic Group's High School Incredible Hour South Atlantic Championship Wrestling.
I can't believe the matches. Chris Chavis, of course, looking very impressive today in his matches. And I tell you what, that's going to be a man to look out for in the very near future.
Well, the War Eagle certainly is. And as we said before, another impressive individual. He carries the mail, 247 pounds of twisted steel and sex appeal, or so he claims. Of course, the U.S. male Curtis Thompson. And, Coach, I don't know when I've seen the Tennessee stud, Robert Fuller, put up with as much from an individual as he is putting up with from Curtis Thompson.
I believe there's a little something going on there. the stud may have found somebody to take his place, and he doesn't like giving up the territory.
Well, it's for sure that he's got some big plans for the U.S. male Curtis Thompson. And, of course, we saw the tune-up matches for the Fantastics and the Bulldogs. A preview for next week, the big main event next week, right here on South Atlantic Championship Wrestling. The Pit Bulldogs, Rex and Spike, taking on Bobby and Jackie Fulton, the Fantastics. For Coach Gene Ligon, I'm Frank Dusick saying coast to coast and border to border. Whenever you see South Atlantic Championship Wrestling, don't miss it. Be there.
All the Hoosiers are howling, because this Friday night, the Ultimate Warrior put it all on the line. The bottom line, that is, as he defended the title against $1 million man, Ken DiBiase. As we're going to show you, the Warrior also received some unexpected royalty payments from the